On the 618th day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. Near Avdiivka, battles continue along the Stepove chemical plant line, where in the last few days the mechanized units of the 47th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Army have successfully contained the Russian advance, and despite their efforts, it seems that the Russian forces have not been able to break through the Ukrainian defenses in this direction. During the intense battles that took place along this line, it was reported that in the past few days, 6 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles were damaged and destroyed, but the Russian forces still failed to advance past the railway line. Heavy battles were also reported taking place north of Krasnohorivka, with the Russian forces attacking towards Novokalinove and gaining ground by taking some tree-line positions in this direction. However, according to some Ukrainian sources, today the Ukrainian army organized a powerful counterattack in this direction and likely forced the Russians to fall back on their previous positions behind the railway. On top of the constant Ukrainian counterattacks, the beginning of the rainy season is also playing a role in slowing down the Russian offensive. The Ukrainian forces could use this chance to fortify their positions near Stepove and north of Avdiivka, which remains the most critical part of the entire front line. Despite the difficulties and the heavy losses, it seems that the Russian command has no plans on abandoning their offensive in Avdiivka, because according to some Ukrainian sources, a concentration of various units, including those from the 90th Tank Division of the Russian Army, is being prepared in the rear, waiting for optimal conditions to conduct another massive wave of armored attacks over the Ukrainian stronghold. On the southern part of the front line, the situation appears to be more stable. According to Ukrainian sources, thanks to the excellent work of the 110th Mechanized Brigade, Ukrainians were able to restore control over most of the positions south of Avdiivka, and the Russian attempts towards the key village of Sievernya were repelled. The Russian capabilities for counter-battery warfare took a serious hit as the Ukrainian Special Forces managed to destroy at least 2 modern Zupark-1 counter-battery radar systems about 70 kilometers deep into the Russian rear. In addition to Avdiivka, the Russian forces continue to exert pressure in the southern part of the Donetsk front. Yesterday, the Russian army launched a massive armored assault in the Vuhledar sector. The Russian mechanized force moved through the town of Mikilske about 5 kilometers southwest of Vuhledar and attacked north and east of the current Russian position. The 72nd Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Army, which is responsible for the defense of this part of the front line, spotted the Russian convoys moving through the town of Mikilske, and thanks to their work, the massive Russian force was destroyed by artillery fire. According to Ukrainian sources, but also as seen on the footage, at least 12 tanks and armored vehicles of the Russian army were damaged and destroyed in this battle. In Kherson front, Ukrainian forces continue to hold their positions across the Dnipro river near Pishchanivka and inside the village of Krinky. During the past few days, both sides have exchanged intense artillery fire over Krinky in attempts to seize full control over the settlement. The Russian army has recently engaged more forces in attempts to drive the Ukrainian forces out of their bridgehead, but so far, the Ukrainian Marines continue to put a fierce resistance, and also thanks to the support of the drone units and the artillery from across the river, they have been able to repel many Russian attacks in this direction. During the last 48 hours, Ukrainian drone operators managed to damage and destroy at least 4 Russian BTR-82 armored personnel carriers near Krinky, and the Ukrainian defenders survived a massive wave of Tovs-1A shelling over their positions and continued to push west, trying to expand their area of control inside the settlement. Fierce battles took place today, where a group of Russian infantry forces clashed with the Ukrainian Marines near the central part of the village. As a result of the fierce fighting, the entire Russian unit consisting of at least 12 soldiers were reportedly KIA. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, and have a great day.